will love it if we beat them. Love it. Shut up! Now!
Yes, guys, are we live? Ladies and gents, welcome to what I'm now calling Soccer PM, our whole new live stream. This is going to be our weekly show, mainly based on nostalgia, where we do at least an hour live on YouTube. Sounds good. And today we have the absolute pleasure of a special guest. We'll get onto him in a moment. He needs no introduction. He loves, like I do, a wander around the ground. Before we crack on, before we address what we've been up to lately and the topic for today, football shirts our wives hate. Now, surely she can't hate this absolute beauty, this Dortmund classic. It's lovely. Ladies and gents, who's in the house? Let's have a look in the comments. I don't know if... I always panic at this point that I'm not actually live. Hopefully I am. I am, because I've got it on my phone. There we go. We're live. Still a bit of an amateur here in Rise Football Paradise. Jaden, how's it going? William from Brazil. Tim. Cade. We got all sorts. We got loads of people in the live stream. So, let's just address this. £20 from the Nottingham Forest Club shop. I don't think this is extravagant enough for Melissa to hate this shirt. 20 quid. Absolute bargain. And if you haven't seen the video already, we did a video last night at the City Ground. It was an incredible atmosphere at the City Ground where Forest beat Fulham 3-1. Great game. I thought it was just going to be a casual look around the City Ground. It was an epic encounter. Really enjoyed it. We've got We Hate Big Bev in the comments. Buzzing for Sunday. Yes, this Sunday the channel is going to be at Wembley because we're watching the EFL bloody trophy. As much as I love ticking the Premier League stadiums off the list, we've done all 20 now. And I'm looking for new experiences, new challenges and so on. I've got this kind of bit of software in front of me which will show when Lee from Around the Grounds is ready to join the stream. He's a busy boy. He gets about like we do as well. So, how are you all doing? Let's have a little catch up before we get into the meatiness of today. And yeah, I'm having a bit of time away from DH Gate shirts. Yeah, I know I said it. I'm having a moral. I mean, we can't really talk about morals because the likes of Adidas, Nike, and so on, their morals or their kind of credibility when it comes to workers hasn't exactly been clean over the years. But obviously, when you buy off DHgate, you do wonder who's running those operations. But we're not going to start turning our nose up at DHgate, but I am going to start getting more legitimate shirts like this one and like some of the shirts we're going to mention with Lee from Around the Ground. So I hope you've been enjoying the content lately. We are going to be rebranding this live stream from next week. I know we've put it in the title, Soccer PM and all that, but we are going to create a soccer AM feel, like a 90s nostalgic feel to our live streams. And I've just seen the main man has popped into the house. So as Lee's here, I think we need to hand it over to my twin brother for an extra special introduction. Here we go. Introducing today's guest on Soccer PM. He comes all the way from York, a cathedral city in North Yorkshire. Top British groundhopper. He loves a mooch around the ground. Known to his family as Lee, but known to you as the man off around the grounds. He's a Sheffield United fan and he loves Bramall Lane. I'm only joking, Lee. He's a Sheffield Wednesday fan and of course loves Hillsborough. The ground, not the disaster, obviously. Ladies and gents, please give a warm round of applause to Lee from Around the Grounds. Is he in?
Evening.
Are you in, mate?
I'm in. All right. Sorry I'm a bit
You've
late.
had a busy day.
Friend. I know.
What have you been up to?
So I've just been recording a little piece on football ownership, and we just got that delved into it. I've had to do a little part 2 that's coming soon because it's a massive topic.
Don't feel like you've got to chat complete nonsense with me when you've got to get into the meaty substance of football ownership. but we're privileged to have you on the live stream, mate. It's an absolute pleasure.
It's
And
an honour to be finally on, mate. We've talked about it for a while, haven't we, Ryan?
we've been meaning to collaborate, haven't we, on some matches or stadium tours or whatever.
We have, mate. Yeah, and your work's absolutely, it's impressive, mate. The grounds and the miles you cover, it's remarkable. I thought I got to some grounds, but you put me to shame.
Well, I have got about, but what I love about your channel, mate, is you address the common man, the working class hero. You address clubs in the EFL. You don't try and get all fancy, just diddle-daddling around with the Premier League teams. And that's what I love about your channel. You get to the people that need it the most, the spotlight on those clubs. Yeah,
no, I appreciate that, right? I set this channel up. I'm a football fan at heart. I love football. I've been playing it since I was a little lad, age of 4. My granddad got me involved in it, and I've played it. I've even had a little spell of managing, and this is my next chapter now. Just loving football. Like, I'm old school like you. The 90s, growing up, it was just such a great era, and I wanted to just. I mean, for me, I set the channel up just to track where I went, sort of thing, as a little marker, and it's just gone better than I thought it would. I've met some amazing people, and I think that's the one standout for me: meeting people, going to football matches that I wouldn't necessarily meet. Whereas it pushes me to talk to people. Obviously, I do my interviews, which is, for me, it's my favourite segment, because I won't talk to them if I were just going to a game. I just go about my own business and go and watch my team or a football match, and that's my favourite bit.
You love a good natter, as we all do when we go to the footy, don't we? At the end of the day, it's a social event, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and you can see different people. Like, obviously, families go in. You can sort of see the parents obviously bringing the sons or daughters to watch the first ever football match at the team they've been obviously brought up to, and that's what's amazing. And it's just a passion, isn't it?
It's the passion, mate. And what we also have a passion for is kits. We're very nostalgic. And that's something, I mean, you kind of very much sort of stay in your lane with the grounds and the match days and stuff. But secretly, you're building an epic football shirt collection, mate, aren't you? I've seen some of your clips of your own man cave. Just explain a little bit about your collection, where your man cave is, and stuff that you maybe wouldn't discuss too much on your own channel.
Yeah, so it's something I've been wanting to do a little tour in my little man cave. Obviously, a lot of it started COVID, obviously 2020, when everything, you got bored, so you're looking on eBay for football shirts. We all love football shirts, right? And I just started, obviously, work. I was still working, so I wanted to spend my money somewhere, so we went into football kits, and it's just progressively got bigger. I think I'm on about 148 without properly counting.
Yeah, and these are all legitimate shirts, yeah?
Not all legitimate, which I'll show you one I've got not legit. It's a remake, but it's special to me, and I'll explain that when I show you.
I think a lot of shirt collectors maybe are guilty of being a little bit snobbish and turning their nose up at, remakes and stuff, because the everyday casual fan really can't always tell the difference. Again, I'm not being negative about shirt collectors, because I love authentic shirts as much as anybody else. But let's be honest, they have massively increased in value, especially since, like you say, everyone during lockdown was just looking for ways to just part with their hard-earned money.
Yeah. Exactly, and one collector, everyone knows him, obviously, Ellis Away Days. His collection is absolutely insane, and I think he's set the not the bar, but I think everyone's got on board and found that they can make a quick buck. And obviously, you look on eBay and some of the prices that shirts go to, you're like, yeah, you just like, I best get another weekend shift in.
It's crazy because, like, 5 to 10 years prior, people were chucking out their shirts. I mean, I don't know if he's watching this, but I've got a good friend called Matthew Badham. He's a season ticket holder in the Stretford end. He's one of those United fans who travel, like a lot of us are. But when Sir Bobby Charlton passed away, people were putting down shirts around Old Trafford and stuff. And his dad gave him a shirt, an original shirt. I think it was from like the 90-ish era, one of the last Adidas shirts. And he'd all wrote to, you know, did I say something about Busby? I'm on about Bobby Charlton. If I said something about Busby, I can't remember. He wrote all over it. And I thought, Matt, what are you doing? You've just destroyed a 300+ pound shirt. It was in mint condition. But people don't know the value, like the older lot, do they?
No, they don't. And one thing I found myself dipping in and out of, which I've not really struck gold yet, is obviously charity shops. I've not found the one. Obviously, you see on Twitter, you see on Instagram that people, oh, look what I found today, and you're like, ow, I go in so many charity shops and I can't see him. Years ago.
Do you follow a guy called Ben's Threads?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, he's from, I think he's from Woking. He's a Chelsea fan, and a good guy. He kind of he does a bit of reselling as well. But have you seen some of what he gets from charity shops? I think I messaged him like a year ago. I'm like, how are you getting these shirts for like £5 and selling them for like 200 quid? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's mental. And I like to say, I've not struck in. I obviously live close to York, village near. I've never found a shirt in a charity shop. Sometimes you'll see like a material that you think, I've got one, but it's just a Nike Adidas shirt, and you're like, damn you.
Even the template shirts though are still going for like, you know, decent money, aren't they? Just kind of generic. Where you live as well, kind of. I know you say you're from sort of outside the busy areas, but you've got a lot of clubs around you. Around here, we've not got that many clubs. So finding stuff in charity shops is really, really difficult anyway. But we're on the topic today about shirts. We've spoke off camera, haven't we, about shirts that maybe our wives, I'm not even married, I'm engaged, hate. Yeah. But you said your wife loves all your shirts.
She does, yeah, and she's bought me a few shirts. Obviously, she were part of it. She were off work. I was still working, and she saw my collection building, and she don't mind it. Obviously, I'm in my man cave. My shirt collection in here. It's up in my loft, so I had it all kitted out. I've got the rails. I think I've got 3 rails. Laid a little bit of AstroTurf to make it look pretty. So yeah, I've probably gone to town. So it's up there. Maybe if it were in eyesight, she'd probably think now. But yeah, to be fair, she don't mind my football collection. I think what it is with my wife is she knows it's my passion, and she loves that, and she can see I enjoy just doing what I love.
That's it, mate. I think it's different when like you say, you're in the loft, you're out the way. She's kind of just leaving you to it. I've made reference to the fact that mine isn't in a loft. I'm in a carport, and you literally have to walk through the gates to get to the front door. So they're always on site, which might be why I've had the opposite problem, where she just pretty much hates all of them, but she will leave me to it. She's so long as I don't wear anything in public, that's where she really goes nuts.
Yeah.
What's your wife like?
She sort of sometimes pushes me up in the loft if she's a bit sick of me, like, "Well, get up there." And,
oh, fair play. But at least you've got a little man cave to escape to and stuff. Everyone wants a man cave, don't they, nowadays?
That's it.
But we're going to get on to some of our picks. Now, I just want to give an honourable mention because it's not football related, but we did mention off camera again that we both are fans or were fans of WWE. And this is something my missus absolutely despises. So I always try and wear it when we're off out. And it's one of those short line WrestleMania jackets from a couple of years ago. And I'll wear this out and about to Asda, to Tesco's. And yeah, she's not a fan at all. So there's nothing that your wife hates then, no?
not football wise, no. Before I met her, she didn't really go to a football match, so she even dips in that now and tends to go. But she likes the highlight, the championship. Obviously, I'm going to quote you here. She got a soft spot for Tottenham. We do try and go for a few Tottenham games. So she got a little bit of a soft spot for Tottenham now.
So to quote you just said, did you say she likes the high life of the championship? So the Premier League would literally just blow her mind then.
It does, yeah. No, to fair be fair play. I don't really cover much Premier League. I love me like EFL downwards.
it's weird, isn't it? Because when you're doing a ground hopping, like I was guilty of falling into that armchair category for a number of years and just watching Premier League stuff on obviously Sky Sports and that. And when you get out to the grounds, it very much gives you more respect for teams lower down the pyramid, doesn't it?
It certainly does, yeah. And like I say, it's, without that pyramid, I don't think. I think we need to appreciate it more because it's massive in English football. No other country's got a pyramid like we've got.
No. I mean, we'll get onto shirts in a moment, but obviously, like Ipswich could do the double promotion, and obviously Wrexham still out. They lost yesterday, didn't they? At the game you went to, they kind of are dropping the ball a little bit, but it's crazy that teams can just fly up there. Before we get onto shirts, though, mate, I am just going to quickly check out the comments. We've got a regular in the house. We've got Andrew Bick. Seen Sheffield Wednesday at Highbury, Des Walker, Chris Waddle, Paul Warhurst, defender turned striker, epic transformation. So, yeah, I remember Paul Warhurst from his Blackburn days, I think it was, wasn't it? But I guess that was a glory era for Sheffield Wednesday.
Centre-half turned striker. So I think
there were loads of those though. You had like Dion Dublin, didn't you? You had was it Elliott for Leicester? You had a few.
Yeah. I think he went from a centre half to a striker, or either one. I'm sure it was a centre half to a striker, but he ended up being a really good striker.
He was decent, wasn't he? Very good. So we've got another one here. Stefan, who's a regular. My ex hated the United green and gold top. That I mean, a lot of people hate United and hate United shirts, but the green and gold, no. The Newton Heath 50-50.
It's an iconic shirt, like, isn't it?
It is. That is one. I mean, we'll get on to ones we want to add to our collection as well, mate. But he is in the house. So the guy I mentioned, Matthew Badham, it was from that era, mate. Yes. So, Matthew, are you going to get me some United Liverpool tickets last minute for the weekend? That would be lovely. This is who we sit next to when we're in the Stretford end. We'll get back to the comments in a moment, guys. Get your comments for Lee for Around the Grounds in there as well. I'm going to hand it over to you, mate. What is your first shirt on the list of ones that on paper your wife should hate, but she really loves?
So we're going to go with this. It's probably not. It's the Ajax.
Mate.
Shirt. And I've looked on if you type in Ajax shirt histories, it comes up as the most liked. It's nothing. It's just simple, isn't it? It's got the black. It's got the colouring. It's even got the.
Let me get you solo for a sec. Just show.
There we go. Look at that. Iconic.
Absolutely iconic. That is amazing, mate. I mean, I'm still trying to work out how anyone could hate that shirt, though, because it's incredible. It's a lovely shirt.
Yeah, and as soon as I seen it come out, I thought I've had to buy that. And obviously, it's still tagged. I do try and keep a lot of my shirts tagged. I mean, the one I've got on, it's a Tenerife shirt. Because I go to Tenerife quite a lot, I always get the shirts every season. So this is not tagged, but some I do wear. But majority of them I just keep just on show up on my loft there.
In the cave. Do you have a name for your man cave?
No, it's just called Lee's Man Cave at the moment. But I'm going to turn it into it's got to be the Around the Ground studio now, hasn't it?
I was going to say, because your name is so associated with actually going outside and around the grounds, it's hard to tie it in. Whereas mine was the opposite. I was doing all my videos here and I was calling this Football Paradise. So it doesn't really tie to outside.
Yeah,
There are opposite problems.
Unless I build a football stadium in my back garden.
Do it, mate. You don't know. Everyone gets subscribing and then, get the revenue up and...
yeah, it won't fit. I don't live in a mansion. It definitely won't fit a football ground.
No. Well, I've got a long list of shirts my missus hates. I'm gonna put a DH Gate one up first, but I'm not going to count it because I'm just going to count real shirts. But again, this was always hated by United fans and other fans alike. but she absolutely despises it because I used to wear it out and about, even because that's why I used to buy DH Gate shirts as well, because you can just rough them up and throw them in a bin because they cost so little. Obviously, got Beckham as original number 24. She despises that, but I'm going to replace that because what I often refer to as the modern day grey kit would be this season's away. She hates this as well, mate.
Yeah, see, it's one that sometimes I think that it's really nice. I've seen it in the club shop, obviously, early on the season, and then I think, no, it's horrible. It's a weird one. Did it when you first got it? Was it a grower on you, or you just instantly loved it?
What a lot of United fans would recommend, but nobody wants to spend that much money, is to get obviously the player version, because you've got this horrible silky square on the fan version, which is basically just like heat press. I don't even know what that is. It just feels cheap, but it's not cheap, because I mean the fan version was like, this is long sleeve as well. This was like 70 quid in itself. So who wants to pay 110 quid for that in a player version, really?
I know, and that's what's ridiculous, isn't it, right? With shirt prices, what we used to pay back in the day compared to now. You always have to look at the two England kits that's just come out. It's ridiculous. And I actually love the away one. I absolutely love it. So I will have to. I think I'm going to have to invest, but it's astronomical, the prices.
Astronomical. But can you imagine if England were to win the Euros and to even do it in that purpley kit? You know that's going out of stock at every Sports Direct, isn't it? It's going to be a legendary shirt.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons. We've got to be in with a chance if we really go for it. So that's one of the reasons. I think you've got to take that risk, and fingers crossed it does come off, because it will be worth some money.
That's it, mate. That's it. I'm just scouring the comments as well. I don't want to kind of leave anyone out. So get involved in the comments, guys. Let's get this one on here. I must be the one United fan that liked the grey kit. I think it's become one of those that kind of was hated at the time, but it's become legendary since. Because I really like the grey kit. But I remember my mate Todd at school was severely bullied wearing that kit. So should laugh. No kids should get bullied.
Yeah. That was the one at Southampton, wasn't it, right? Was that the one that they changed?
So, yeah, that was the famous one at Southampton that they changed at half-time because the players couldn't see each other, according to Alex Ferguson. But he swears that they had an eye specialist who was working with them for a long period of time prior to that. And even she said, are you sure this should be the away kit? Because it's not good for picking out players. And it kind of makes sense. But when it said when you're 3-0 down at half-time or whatever they were, it's going to come with some repercussions.
Yeah, definitely.
What have you got next on your list, mate?
So next on my list, and it's an 100-year centenary shirt. It's the York City third shirt. And that was from, let me get my little notebook because I jotted it down. I think it's a 2000 and... So it's a 2022-23 season, and it's the third, and it's to mark obviously the chocolate making in York. I don't know if you can see it.
Just to let everyone know, if they can't pick up on the colours, that's like a brown and gold. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I just love it because you don't get many coloured kits like this, and it's just and because it's York, I thought why not? And I got the own one, which is it's got the cathedral in the background, and it's like a red. That was the own one, so I got both. I just think they're good pieces.
That's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Yeah. Do you not find that Puma are a bit hit and miss? Like some they're lush, and some they're a bit iffy.
100%, yeah. And I quite like Puma as a brand, but sometimes you think you just need to put more effort in a football shirt.
Yeah, too right. Mate, I love that shirt. I think it's absolutely stunning. And just to confirm, York is your hometown club, is that right?
Yeah, well, Selby's my little non-league, but yeah, York, if to pick a team, it's York. That's probably 20 minutes away from where I live, if that.
So it's the equivalent of me in Hereford, I suppose, because I grew up about 25 minutes away from Hereford. So that's a nice segue on to this one right here. This is a Hereford United sort of mid-90s. I think it was like 94 to like 96. The reason I've got this on the list is because I had a spell of wearing it all the time, and you can see it's not in the best condition. It's very scagged. But the missus just said I look like a little boy who's just finished playing football on the weekend and going home with his mum. So yeah, she bans me from wearing this in public. Nothing on the back. But she's got a point now. Sorry, carry on, mate.
I think what I like about that is the Sun Valley sponsor. It's like an old school, like sponsor, like the old sponsors back in the day. Obviously, you've got the West Ham one with Dagenham Motors. Yeah. You've got the Carlsberg. They're just iconic sponsor. I think that's what sets that shirt off for me.
It's sort of local businesses. So they're like a chicken factory. So like my half brother's mum, I think, worked there at some point. I think they become like Cargill after.
Right.
But do you remember playing football? I guess you played for a team when you were a kid and stuff, and you'd have those real silky kits.
Yeah, similar to Phil to that. What's the mate? What's the
Paulini.
I see. I've never heard of them.
No, I thought it said Panini at first. You know the stickers. Yeah. They did kits. But yeah, she hates it because I look like a little boy, apparently. So I haven't really worn that much lately.
Little boy, it's great.
Before we see your next one, I just want to get this comment on the screen again. I think it's by Stefan. Do you have the reversible away kit? Now, I think he means this one here. Again, this is a child version. Do you mean this one, mate? The United reversible one. So again, the gold's similar to your York one, but then obviously it goes inside out, and then you've got the white underneath. So I think you mean this one, don't you, Stefan?
So which one, Ryan, was classed as the home and away and third out of them two?
God, test of my knowledge, my Corey fan knowledge now. I think this might have been the away, and the gold might have been the third. I just remember them wearing the white more than they did the gold. Oh, it's actually, by the way, it's actually a centenary one. So you've got 1878. Right, so it's got the original Newton Heath birth date, and you've got 1902 to 2002. Yeah, it's a centenary shirt as well. Cool. Do you find like that era from the early 2000s, your mind is completely foggy? I remember everything 90s, but
yeah, all I remember is the 2000, like when we New Year's having a little party in my local village hall. That's it. Everything from that's a little blur.
It's all a blur. How old are you, mate? We're about the same age, are we? How old are you?
I'm going to ask you, how old do you look?
No, I know how old you are because you recently had a birthday, and I think you said either 38 or 39. Was that right?
39. He reads well.
39. Yeah, I remember. I think I wished you happy birthday. Actually, that's how bad a memory I've got.
I'm one off the big 4-0. Sadly.
You're doing well, mate. Anyway, you're doing well. Don't be fooled by the high vis top and the lighting in here. I'm haggard and tired looking. I'm only 34, but I look 39.
That's what vlogging does to us.
Yeah, YouTube drives you to. Is it your turn or my turn now? I can't remember whose turn.
My turn.
It's your turn, isn't it?
Yeah. So you'll like this one, right? So this is a special.
Oh, nice. So this was again sort of peak Ronaldo prior to Real Madrid, wasn't it?
Yeah, and for that reason, when Ronaldo were in the Premier League, it was just unplayable, wasn't he?
When he returned to United, sorry, mate, carry on.
I've actually got every Ronaldo shirt, like when he went to Madrid, when he went to Juventus, and a Portugal one. I've just not got the Sporting Lisbon one.
So are you one of those Ronaldo fanboys that start hating on Messi in the comments on Sport Bible and stuff like that?
See, I had obviously everyone has a preference. Ronaldo shades it, but I don't know. I just think you've just got to appreciate them both, haven't you? For the both different players and both. I don't think we'll ever get two players.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't ever get two players like them two again.
Exactly.
What they've done
I mean,
for
I personally I'd take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer over the pair of them. I'd take Paul Warhurst over the pair of them.
Yeah.
Right. So
Sure.
yeah, that's class, by the way. Obviously, anything Ronaldo. I mean, that shirt probably tripled in value when he made his return to United a few years back. Now this isn't hated by misses because of the shirt. Don't laugh. I would have been around 20, I think, at this time, maybe 21, 20. So the number's bad enough. 69.
Right dog.
So no one ever called me Roy Dog. So I have no idea why I put Roy Dog on the back. I think I was just a fan of Snoop Dogg at the time.
Yeah, or maybe he wanted to be called that. Like,
I love that Snoop Dogg era when he ventured into a bit of dance music with like Katy Perry and stuff. It would have been around that era. But I thought I'd be even cooler and put Dog.
Yeah. What's 69?
Fuck knows. I think just because I was at that age, I was single and I was just loving life. But obviously, I would have looked like a first-class prat.
Brilliant.
But without the kind of name and number set, I mean, this is actually a really nice shirt, you know.
It is, yeah. What year was that? I'm just trying to think.
So this is for the South Africa World Cup. So it's been 2010, I believe.
Yes, it's a banging shirt, isn't it? Just
and obviously
simple.
It's kind of a nod. Yeah, it's a nod to the 66. It's very tight fitting. I couldn't wear it now. But yeah, that's one way to devalue your shirt. I'm guessing that's a football shirt. They're going to buy that off me, are they?
You never know, right, dog? I think you find with shirts now. Obviously, we're growing lads, right? We're not hiding that. You have to buy the bigger sizes because they are tighter fitting. I think they're just the designs. Like I got that, which you'll see, it's going to be my number one coming up. It's
Don't give it away.
Yeah, it's a 90s shirt. It's like it's baggy, and you just compare it to now. It's just so much different.
It's a fantastic shirt, ladies and gents. So just stay tuned for that absolute banger.
I nearly gave it away there.
You did almost give it away. I'm gonna steer away. I'm just looking again at the comments, just checking we've not kind of missed anyone. People just seem to be lurking and interested as to what you've got to say tonight. So on to you. I think it's your shirt, mate, now, isn't it?
It is. I'll just. So when I said earlier that this was a re-release one, and I'll explain why. So, Hammers fans, this is a classic. So I bought this because it was re-release. It's a classic shirt, but I got it on the back, and I've actually got it signed by the great man himself, Paolo Di Canio. It's an absolute classic, and I'll tell you the story how I got it signed. 2 years ago, I actually played in a charity football match for Sheffield Wednesday, alongside the great man up front. It was just an incredible day, and like growing up, he was probably one of my heroes. He was just iconic for the Premier League. Obviously, I had that shirt before. I didn't have a Di Canio shirt, so I got him to sign it, and just you'd say never meet your heroes, and it was just everything that I wanted him to be. He was just an absolute legend, and he's an iconic Premier League player, isn't he, right?
So that kind of leads me to the question of how is Paolo Di Canio regarded by Sheffield Wednesday fans?
I think at the time it was raw. Obviously, I've listened to podcasts since it's happened, and he said he did handle things differently. I think
Pushing over the ref would have been a start, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and he said, I listened to him, Simon Jordan podcast for an interview. If you've not listened to it, it's a great interview.
Yeah, it's a good interview.
He says he should have handled things different. I think what tipped him over the edge were actually Martin Keown, where he reacted. He got in his face, and whereas whether you believe him or not, Di Canio were trying to calm things down because obviously it won't
Martin Keown getting in someone's face. Yeah. Martin Keown would happen, would it? Christ. I don't hate many people, mate, but Martin Keown is on the list. Sorry, carry on.
He's up there, but yeah,
he's
I think
up there.
Obviously, way things happen, and that was his last ever game for Sheffield Wednesday. I think why he were angry. Wednesdays as a club didn't really back him, but it would just, I love him, and I think a lot of Wednesday fans still love him, and I think he's been back to the club since.
That's it. I've just popped a comment on the screen by Hammer. I think that's as nice as fuck, I think. So a big fan there. I mean, it is a beautiful shirt. And was it the shirt he scored the bicycle kick in?
I believe so, yeah. The West Ham guy will know. I'm sure it was.
Yes.
Is against Wimbledon, was it?
If it was against Wimbledon, I think it was. How many iconic Premier League goals were either scored against Wimbledon or at Selhurst Park or associated to Wimbledon? You've got Beckham from the halfway line, we saw in the little intro. You've got Tony Yeboah, who remembers that absolute banger when he just smashed a fucking goal up. So many iconic goals and moments happened against Wimbledon, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
It wasn't. Them 2 goals, I think, are up there. If you were to pick a top 5 ever goals, as like obviously that era were alike in that sort of aspect. I think they're standout goals. That Yeboah goal, I think he scored 2 actually. One
against Liverpool, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, and they were more or less week after week. And everyone were like, Yeboah mad. They've just started going down the local park and getting a ball and just trying to emulate it.
Smashing it. I'm guessing you don't have a Leeds shirt in your collection, being kind of a Wednesday fan. But for me, that goal, those goals he scored in, was it like a throwback kind of shirt they had with the LUFC on? Even as a United fan, I thought that was lovely. A lovely shirt.
Yeah, and you can appreciate. I think sometimes your local, like you're obviously City, you're local, you're Liverpool. I think you can appreciate a good kit, but whether you'd buy them is another thing. I don't know if anyone in the comments can back us up. I think, like, I'd never buy a Sheffield United kit. I think sometimes the old school ones, like to this day, it were the day that Chris Waddle scored that free kick in the semi-final, 1993. And that Sheffield United shirt was a classic, great shirt, but I won't ever go and buy it.
And the Bramall Lane security were absolute jobsworths, mate. When I went in there to film a bit in the shop, I know they don't like you filming in the shop, but I was just looking at the beautiful shirts. I mean, even, like you say, even as a Wednesday fan, they had some really nice shirts, as did most teams in the bloody 90s. I just want you to do one thing, mate. Whilst we're like this, we did it when we had a little chat earlier on. You might notice, guys, Lee's
Here we go.
Oh God, I'm so bad at this. There we go.
Have you ever watched the Ian Wright and what's his name on TalkSport? Forgot his name.
You're on about the one who played for Spurs, but he's a Chelsea fan, the defender.
No. He runs Soccer AM.
Tim Lovejoy.
No, not him.
Andy Goldstein.
Yeah, he tried to do this and tried to get Ian Wright. YouTube it after this because it's absolute comedy gold. He tries to get Ian Wright to do it, but he couldn't understand it, and it takes him about 10 minutes to figure out what he's trying to get him to do.
It's so weird because it's even confusing because I think, are you using the webcam on your, like, above where your screen is, so your eyes are kind of in the right place, but I'm using my camera, as I said to you earlier, as a webcam, and it's over there, so yeah, it's so confusing. But anyway, ladies and gents, whose turn is it? Is it yours, mine, yours?
Yours.
My turn, right? So I'm not going to pick these because they're kids' kits, but most people, when they ask their wife or their partner or anyone randomer off the street, if they had a list of goalkeeper shirts, or more specifically Man United goalkeeper shirts in the 90s, which one is the most disgusting, hideous, and so on, you'd probably choose one maybe like this, a bit more of a flamboyant one, quite bright and colourful. But no, this kind of passed the test with Melissa. Instead, she goes, that one. As Andy off Little Britain would say, this one, but it's quite plain. It's nice. I'm really surprised she hates this so much.
So that's the treble-winning season shirt. Am I wrong? Right?
I believe so. There's a blue
I just
one.
remember
There's a few varieties. Yeah.
Is it the zipper?
Yeah.
So how many goalie kits would you ever get that said like a zipper?
That time when Schmeichel left and they rang me up to go and goal. This is even worse. Let me go and get the.
Where's Rye Dog?
He'd have been very young back then. He'd been like Roy Pup or something.
Has anyone got any comments, questions for Rye? Absolute legend. Smash him a like button. See, I've done this before, haven't I?
I want it, mate. So this is another one that went with it, and they continued on to the season after the treble when we had a man who I loved at the time.
Bosnich.
Good day, mate. Mark Bosnich.
Good day, mate. That's a really good Australian accent.
Is he Australian? I thought he was.
Yeah. So, if I were to ask you your favourite ever United keeper, it's got to be Schmeichel.
Yeah, I mean, the younger fan would say probably Van der Sar. The older fan might say, no, I don't think they would say any of the keepers prior to Schmeichel. But yeah, those kits. I mean, this is how disgraceful her opinion is. She even hates this. Now, this was the Champions League goalie shirt.
Yeah, that's it. That's like a silvery colour. That's a real classic, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a kid's one because I'd have loved to wear this around Tesco. Look at it. Looks like tin foil. But I made the right move on this one.
Yeah, you've got it. See,
this is when they started to sort of phase out the padding. If you notice, they've still got the detailing, but there's no padding. Yeah,
because they were the proper in thing, weren't they? And now, obviously, it's nothing. It's mad how football.
Sorry, mate. What's your opinion on goalkeeper kits? Because I've suddenly grown a real love for them. When I went to Classic Football Shirts in Manchester yesterday, they had like no goalie shirts to buy, and I love them. I love keeper shirts.
I totally agree, and it's one thing I want to add. I've not got a goalie top. Constantly look, but we mentioned earlier, right, that prices of shirts. I think goalie kits on another level.
Yeah.
Like I've googled Wednesday's goalie kit because they were iconic colours, bright back in the day, and they're just stupid, like £300 upwards.
So I'm a bit annoyed at myself because if I'd have had more time, I was going to put some graphics on screen for you, mate, because I did have a few goalkeeper shirts I wanted to mention. So people are just going to have to use their imagination. But we spoke to Jonesy, the Australian guy, about kind of Villa's kits and stuff from the 94-95 season. I don't know if you remember, mate, that kind of multicoloured one that Villa, Newcastle, who else had Asics around that time? A real flamboyant kind of multicoloured shirt.
Yeah, the goalie kits back in the day were far superior to now. I think there were more bog standardy ones, whereas before it was just all about them bright colours. And brilliant. And
then Neville Southall did the opposite, didn't he? He wanted a dark black kit so people wouldn't see him.
Yeah, I think that was to hide his belly, maybe, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, bring back the mustache. Speaking of which, ladies and gents, if we hit 20,000 subscribers or more by the very last game in the Premier League season, I will grow a mullet and I will shave all this and keep a mustache for at least 1 week if we surpass 20,000 subs by the end of the season. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And whilst we're on the topic of subscribing, Let's get Lee up on the subs as well. So there's a link in the description below after the stream. Check out his channel. It's great.
Appreciate
It's good.
that.
We've got the hammer in the chat as well.
Yeah.
What should I call him? What should we call you? Gaza? It looks like GA. So let's call you Gaza. Modern goalkeeper kits are boring. We need confirmation. Was the feeler kit the one that DiCanio scored the bicycle kick in?
Yeah, I'm going to do some Googling while we...
You do some research. Whilst you're doing the research, mate, I'm going to hop in the comment section. Let's see who we've got. So Jaden is in the comments. So we've got Liam. What's Liam saying? I used to own the Man United 94 goalkeeper shirt and home 95 goalkeeper shirt, both in medium. Do you mean the 94 to 95 or the 95 to 96? Because I have got a 95 to 96 one up here. You want about this one, mate? That one there underneath, possibly that one. Just knocked down half the man cave whilst doing that. Knocked down. What was his name again? Happy Harry.
Happy Harry.
Mad Hatter.
There we go. Confirmation.
Oh, mate. Let me hand it over to you for a sec.
So that's the shirt. I think DiCanio, when he were at West Ham, I think he was class at Wednesdays, but I think at West Ham he went on to another level, didn't he, Right?
He was phenomenal, mate. Absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, I don't want to talk too much of DiCanio and the association because I don't want to kind of give away. Well, I've given it away already now, haven't I? About your shirts later on. Is it your turn? Was it my turn? I think it's your turn, isn't it?
So it's my number one now.
You're number one, so we can talk about it. Go for it, mate. I'm actually going to hand it back over to you.
So this is my number one, which I got bought for my birthday off my brother-in-law. It's one I've always wanted. It's probably, you have a list, don't you, Rad, that you want, and this were top of it because it were a flashback to my childhood, and it's this iconic Sheffield Wednesday shirt, and it's in immaculate condition. And the thing I like about it most is it's the old school Sheffield Wednesday badge, the proper owl, which I wish we'd go back to because it's classic. It's just does what it says on the tin, and obviously a Sanderson sponsor, which 2 clubs actually had that sponsor. If you could put in the comments and guess what the other one was, if I'm testing your knowledge here, I do know, mate.
I do, but let's just see if anyone in the comment section is going to get to it. We're going to give you to the end of my next shirt. Get in the comment section. Who else had Sanderson at that time as their sponsor? Because I mean, I've got a soft spot for Wednesday, but I've also got a soft spot for the club who also had Sanderson. Not at that time, though. Actually, I'm getting confused here. Maybe I've got this wrong. I might have got this wrong, actually. But what I haven't got wrong is another kit that my missus hates, and unfortunately, it's not one we can get nostalgic about because it's one recently featured on the channel. We spoke about this earlier on, mate.
Ooh. So my missus and dad and brother will be over the moon that you've picked that one, right? Because they're massive Barnsley fans. Unfortunately for me.
So yeah, we spoke to me off camera, and you mentioned you've got kind of people close to you who are Barnsley fans, and they kind of have mixed opinions on this. I like it, but my missus, I've got to be somewhat politically correct on YouTube. But she did suggest that maybe I was playing for the other team whilst wearing this shirt. It's rather flamboyant, isn't it? And there's nothing wrong with playing for the other team, but that's not my intentions with wearing that shirt. I just wanted to look cool. So that is, yeah, I don't know what else we can say on that shirt, really.
Yeah. What size was that shirt?
So I don't know about you, mate, but have you gained weight since doing around the grounds?
Yeah, I find myself eating every bit of food that I can because I'm massively into my footy scran. Odd pie here and there. It soon adds up.
It does add up, but I've gained loads too. So I used to be a large, but everything you're seeing now is XL. Like yesterday, XL, XL. Me Only Fools and Horses, Nag's Head, Top Ear, XL.
Yeah,
Now,
that's it.
it's mad because she encouraged me to buy this, right? And she'll happily hate on all the other shirts, but this bright yellow monstrosity, she bloody loves with Trotter on the back.
She's got to be an Only Fools and Horses fan.
She is. Yeah, she grew up watching it. Her dad's a massive fan. People keep asking me where this shirt came from. So it's made by Siger. Siger. But I just saw it on an Instagram advert and thought, I'm having me a piece of that.
It's class. So where did you get it from?
So it was literally an I think you can get them on Amazon, possibly. When like the Instagram adverts pop up and you just click them and you end up at some random site that could be a scam site, and it's not a scam site, thankfully. But I think it was just one of those sort of Shopify websites. If you literally type that in on Google, you'll have a few shops that sell that.
Yeah.
It's whether anyone wants to. I mean, it's one of those that like it's a novelty shirt, isn't it? But it's done well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and Only Fools
that embroidery's good. Yeah,
it's a classic comedy.
He Who Dares Wins is on the badge of the Nag's Head Football Club emblem. But is that all of our picks? Because
it is
all of our shirts that she hated. Yeah,
it's all of our picks. I'm going to match you, mate. That's what I've got.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Completely upstaged. Does that say who does that?
Massive, right? So he struggles to fit on.
There we go.
How do we look, guys?
Mate, looking good. Is that a spin on the Euro 96 England shirt? I'm trying to see what.
Yeah. It's
Is that Sheringham on it?
No, it's just it's coming home.
Coming home.
Classic football shirts.
Nice. So this is from Classic Football Shirts as well. So I guess they just did loads of spin-off bucket hats, didn't they?
So this one, Ray, you'll not like this one. Rumbelows Cup final. Who did Sheffield Wednesday beat? Oh. Mate, get it out. Let's see it. I think it's there we go. Now this will look hideous on So this obviously were a thing. Everyone bought them. They look absolutely stupid, but because it's the 1991 Rumbelows Cup final, which I believe now's the Carling Cup. Is that right?
Because it has become the Coca-Cola Cup, didn't it?
Yeah. So basically, that was 1991. I was 6. Didn't go, unfortunately, but I had to have this one in the collection because everyone wore them, and we beat Manchester United. John Sheridan.
Happy days, mate. I think let's put
things
into perspective right here.
There we go.
See, you look more Dow boy than if I put this bloody shirt on.
See, it's because it's all obviously the peaks it's like just a cardboard, so it's lost all its shape. I just seen it on eBay, tenner. Thought got to have that for the collection. It's a flashback to when we actually won something.
You look back at anything early 90s, if you watch like the Premiership years and stuff, a lot of managers like Alan Ball all wore those kind of hats, didn't they? Those sort of flat cap type hats. But just to put it into perspective, Wednesday were almost kind of fighting for the title, really. They were like, bear in mind that United hadn't won the title for years and years and years. So when they had players like Des Walker and stuff, like they were kind of held in the same regard, in terms of competing for stuff as United, or even more at that time. Yeah,
and you look at the clubs that obviously are in the Premiership and that they've been long standing. I think for me, obviously, I'm going to be biased. I think Wednesday are a big club that they've obviously got their history. We have won things. We have won league titles. We've been in Europe, and the days where we had like Chrissy Waddle and obviously David Hurst, all them, Mark Bright, obviously Chris Woods. We've had England internationals. It was just bad financial at the top that's cost us. Probably from that Di Canio and Carboni days, that's when the decline started coming in.
Yeah. It's only got worse, hasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Whilst we're on the topic of the Owls, someone's asked which was your favourite Italian, Di Canio or Carboni?
That is a blooming. It's got to be Di Canio, but just. I mean, Carboni scored some iconic goals. I think the one that stands out was against Nottingham Forest, where he did the little chip over the keeper.
Did he score a banger for Villa as well?
Yeah, and he scored.
Yeah,
scored a couple of overhead kicks, one against Newcastle and one against Blackburn, I think it was. But yeah, I think Di Canio just shades it. Because he had the iconic white boots, which when I was growing up, I had the white boots. You'd have to, growing up, you have that person that you always try and emulate. I didn't go as far as having the shorts up my backside, but yeah.
I mean, white boots were quite rare back in the 90s, weren't they? Anyway, everyone wore black boots and stuff. Someone's got the 1991 Spurs FA Cup final shirt, so you'd like that as well, mate.
Well, I bet that is a good, because obviously that's an icon in that same year as well. So I would like that, yeah, because I have got a soft spot for Spurs. Believe it or not, with the Yorkshire accent, I was born in Lewisham, down in London, but I spent most of my life up here in Doncaster, really, which where my mum and dad were born. But yeah, I was born down there, and a lot of me friends at school were either Arsenal or Spurs, and I went with Spurs fans to go and watch a few games at White Hart Lane. So I always sort of follow them, and yeah, I do try and get to games.
Yeah, it makes it easier when the teams you like are kind of in different leagues, I suppose, as well, because you're not.
Yeah, although I kind of hope they draw each other in the FA Cup or League Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be, win-win. But then I suppose it'd probably be more beneficial for Wednesday, wouldn't it? Well, then again, Spurs, everyone gives them stick for not winning trophies, so it's difficult.
Yeah, it certainly is.
But it's crazy. How old were you when you moved up north? Because your accent and stuff, how old were you?
I've done the move twice. So I was born down there. We moved back up here probably when I was 3. Went back down then when I was 10, so till I was about 17, back up here now, and I've lived up here since. It's basically because of my dad working down in London, so we've done the move twice, like Jippos.
I mean, were you one of those that got moved on when they wanted to build like St Andrews in Birmingham, or recently did a video? Was it yesterday? Where did I go yesterday, mate? My mind's gone blank.
You went to National Football Museum and City Main Road.
That's right. I went to Main Road, and I read up again about travellers being moved off Main Road when they built it, and so many grounds were apparently cursed by gypsies and travellers and stuff. Just trying to blame there. It did curse City when they won the title. Was it the year after United won it in like 60? So City won the title in like late 60s, didn't they? I swear they did. So obviously the curse wasn't prevalent then. But yeah, so you wouldn't have been one of those that got moved.
No, I want one of them. No, I just had to go where my parents took me, basically. But no, I think it let me see the world a bit more, and I've got friends down there still, and still try and go and visit. Like I said, that's where my soft spot for Spurs comes in.
That's it, mate. That's it. Well, we love a good soft spot on the channel. I don't want to leave you kind of hanging around too long, mate, because I know you're a busy man, and we've been kind of streaming for about an hour. So if anyone wants to get their questions in for Lee from around the grounds, get them in the comments below. Jaden Royer, I have a Marcus Rashford book, the published. Would love to send it. Yeah, will you send us some stuff, mate? I'm a bit cautious with giving out my address, I must admit, but I am looking at setting up a PO box. I don't know if you've ever looked at doing it, Lee, but they're like 30 quid a month, so I am holding off a little bit.
Yeah, that is it. I didn't know it costs. I thought I know I've seen a few do it, but I think like for me, it's just an hobby. I don't know what you your aspirations is for. It's just I love football, and to be fair, I just like vlogging it, and for me, just watching it back. I won't even be too bothered if I didn't get any viewers. I know it sounds quite sad in a way, but my passion for football it means more to me, and like we've said this before, and I've met some brilliant friends through my channel. I've said, I don't know if you've seen Little Finley, he's an absolute legend, and I think that's what means more to me than anything.
Absolutely, mate. You meet some great people, and like you say, experiencing different clubs, different grounds. It's rewarding. Like, let's be honest, to do YouTube full time. I mean, we've spoke about it off camera. Takes. I don't think people who've never done YouTube kind of appreciate how much time, effort, energy, and money that goes into growing a channel. It's bloody relentless, isn't it? Really, mate. Let's be honest.
It is. It's so like. I've just said it. It's. I think it's the editing. It's stressful because you want a video to look good. You don't just want to put a video, go to a match and put it out. You want it to. Like I have a process of what I want to do to try and tell a story of being at that game.
Yeah.
For me, it was never about me being in the ground. I know some vloggers do, like you like Fogdens. They talk in the game. That I never set up the channel. For me, it was to showcase football fans and different football clubs and passion for football. So yeah, it's just so stressful, and obviously having a job as well, you're just like texting, telling you do have to have these breaks, right? We've both had them, and otherwise
Speaking of that, leads me on to the next question. So we mentioned shirts your missus hates. How does your missus you work Monday to Friday, don't you? Then how does your missus sort of cope with you going to games on the weekend and stuff? Is she all right with it?
So Saturday's not too bad because she works a Saturday. The day off we have is a Sunday, so that works quite well. It's when the midweek you'll get that like look. Like obviously, I was at a game yesterday, and I told her obviously I've been doing my thing before I come on this, and then I got the live, and it was like, oh, so I'm on my own again tonight type thing. We get them, but she's so understanding and really. Finley's here. There he is.
I was going to say your biggest fan is in the chat. So hello, Finley. We've heard only good things. Yeah.
So yeah, she's really supportive, and like I said, she can see it's my passion, and I think you have to have that balance, don't you, right? Because otherwise you'd be kicked out before you know it.
Well, definitely. I mean, I probably have the most tolerant girlfriend in the world.
Because you like I said earlier, like I'll go to a lot of games, but you put me to shame with how many you cover.
Obviously. Oh no, I'd say you go to more games, but obviously I go out of the house and sort of look around grounds and stuff. Because I mean, we spoke about when we film, and you referenced Thogden, for example. I don't like, maybe it's our age. I can't put on that. I'm not saying Thogden puts it on. He's really good at that, but he's obviously a lot younger, so he can kind of. He's grown up in a generation that are kind of happy to be kind of extrovert, like in front of people. And as much as like we'll film in public and stuff, I'm very conscious of not annoying the people around me. I don't know if you think the same.
Yeah, and a big thing for me is never been a confidence person. So still, I think I have two different things where I'll start my video. And I'll still try and not do it where there's a lot of people around me, because I'm still conscious of people thinking, what a dick, what are you doing filming yourself talking? But then when I do my interviews, all my feeling of that worry sort of goes because I'm talking to someone, so my focus is on that guy. It's such a weird feeling. Like I could have, if a crowd of people around me, I could do it where I'm interviewing someone, but roles reversed, I'm just talking to my son, I just like crumble. It's so weird.
Do you not find, like, I've always found that I'm fine like one-to-one, and then I'm almost fine in huge massive groups like at football, but then it's when you're outside and there's just a few people, I find that the most awkward to film.
Yeah, it's like you've just said with Fogden, they're used to it. They've been brought to it because he were doing it when he were kids, so they're used to it. I think we're obviously over 30, so it's hard. But then it has helped me with my confidence, because I'm more of a confident person now. I can do it, and the more and more videos I do, it's helping with that.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. I'm not just saying it. I was the same as you, growing up in school, very, very low in confidence. If anyone is watching this and went to school with me, you probably don't even remember me, because I was that quiet. And we were like the in-betweeners, when we were growing up. But I found that, like you, kind of pushing yourself out there and kind of doing things to increase your confidence. I've got to like 34 years old now, where I genuinely, as much as I try and be respectful, I genuinely, someone could literally like shout wanker in my face and I wouldn't really care, to be fair.
Yeah. And that's what.
Sorry, Finley. I didn't mean to swear. Actually, I just realised you've got young viewers. So I do apologise.
No, don't worry about that. He can hold his own with that sort of stuff.
He can. No. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, you want to hear him at football, but no, it's as you get older, you sort of just dust it off. You're never gonna get everyone that likes you. It's part of life. It doesn't even matter if you're vlogging. You could have your everyday work. Someone's not gonna like you, so don't watch it. Move along.
I think the older you get, the less you care. Because I went to when I watched Hereford a few weeks ago, there was literally a bloke who looked like he was in his 70s, in full kit, socks, the lot, football boots. He did not give a shit. People were saying full kit wanker, and he was just like, I thought, what a man.
Yeah. He is living his best life.
I think he was a Torquay fan, possibly. I'm not too sure. I can't remember too much. But yeah, like it's been a pleasure, and it's been nice hearing about the channel and the ins and outs and stuff. Because like there is, like we said, there's a lot. I don't want to bore everyone with it, but there is a lot to YouTube. I mean, little mundane things, like I bought a new look at this. This looks dodgy on camera, doesn't it? Christ. This goes well with the Barnsley shirt.
You can tell it past the 9 o'clock watershed. He's in here.
Yeah, good. Basically, I bought a new mic, professional grade. This weighs a ton.
That wrestler, what do when he used
Michael
to come
Buffer.
down? No,
Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy.
Let's get. He was never WWE champ, but
sorry, it's got into wrestling chat.
Kennedy. Yeah, little things like I bought that microphone, expensive as anything, but I can't get it connected to my computer because there's not enough USB-C ports. And it came with a 4K webcam, which we're supposed to be using for the live streams, and that's got a 2-week delay. Little things, but yeah, we love it really, and we really appreciate. I was speaking on behalf of Lee as well. We appreciate everyone who does like and comment on videos, not because it's an ego boost and we're doing this because we want to be the next Ogden. That's the least of our intentions, should I say. It just kind of gives us a form of, okay, this is why we do it, because if other people are enjoying it as well, just makes everything a lot more fun. I don't know how you feel about it, mate.
Yeah, we're all football fans at the end of the day. We all like the same thing, and that's what we wanted to do in our channels. Just sorry about that. Just showcase football in general and just share that passion.
That's it, mate. And ladies and gents, it's been a pleasure. We're gonna end the stream, but I'm going to end it with saying next week we're going to probably be live on Thursday rather than Wednesday. I mentioned I'm starting a new. I'm going part-time, so a bit of a hypocrite. I'm going part-time next week. Massive hypocrite, because I'm trying to pursue a YouTube career.
Fogden.
Yeah. Oh, Fogden in disguise. Yeah, so next week I'm working Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So I'm unable to live stream on Wednesday, but I will know my set days next week. So it is going to be Thursday, but that's not set in stone. So ladies and gents, make sure you check out the live stream Thursday. Make sure you head over to Around the Grounds because he's uploaded a matchday vlog today. If you're not on the Wrexham bandwagon, you'll enjoy that one because they lost. And if I'm selfishly going to plug a matchday vlog, we went to the City Ground to watch Nottingham Forest versus Fulham, which blew my mind. It was a really good game. So lots of content for you. But if I carry on rambling, you're going to have no time to watch it. So Lee, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Ryan.
And hopefully we'll see you soon, mate.
You will definitely. Enjoyed it, mate. Cheers, bud.
Cheers, buddy. So there, guys, we'll finish up now. Again, really appreciate your support. There's loads of content coming on the channel. We're backlogged massively. We've got the Barnsley Stadium Tour. We've got the Borough Stadium Tour. Next week, we're going to be doing, just diss Wrexham. Shouldn't diss them too much because we're at Wrexham for a Wrexham Stadium Tour, as well as bloody Blackburn. We've got the National Football Museum. We've got a tour round Main Road, the old Manchester City ground in 2024. Plus some other stuff I can't really remember. We got more football shirt stuff that we filmed a week or so ago with Jonesy, an incredible Australian football shirt collector. Even I'm forgetting what I've filmed. I'm having to ask Lee. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week, Thursday. Remember Thursday. See you later, guys.